Hello, my name's Maria Schmidt. Welcome back to my channel today on Franz Kafka's 100th anniversary. What's the meaning of the term Kafkaesque? So let us examine this word that has come to be used in everyday conversation. The term Kafkaesque is used to describe situations, ideas, or experiences reminiscent of the works of Czech author Franz Kafka. And why did we always think he was German? Because all his works are in German. He grew up in the German-speaking population of the Czech Republic. It has become a widely used term in literature and popular culture. But what does it actually mean? To understand what is meant by Kafkaesque, it is helpful to have some knowledge of Kafka's writing style and themes. Kafka was known for his surreal and often nightmarish stories, which often revolved around themes of alienation, bureaucracy, and the absurdity of human existence. It was very difficult to understand at university, not having been seeped in German culture, as I now have. But, you can imagine reading Die Verwandlung. His most famous works include The Metamorphosis, in which a man wakes up one morning to find himself transformed into a giant insect, and The Trial, in which a man is arrested and put on trial for a crime that is never specified. In both of these stories, as in many others by Kafka, the protagonist finds himself trapped in a confusing and oppressive world that operates according to its own inexplicable logic. They are subject to arbitrary rules and procedures, and their attempts to understand or escape their predicament are usually futile. The atmosphere of these stories is often characterized by a sense of dread, fear, and impending doom. It is this sense of disorientation, powerlessness, and absurdity that the term Kafkaesque captures. When something is described as Kafkaesque, it means that it shares some of the same characteristics as Kafka's work. This could be a situation that is confusing, illogical, or nonsensical, or it could refer to a feeling of helplessness or an awareness of the inherent absurdity of life. An example of a Kafkaesque situation is being trapped in an endless loop of automated phone menus when trying to reach a customer service representative. In this scenario, the individual is confronted with a series of options and instructions that seem designed to frustrate and confuse them. No matter what option they choose, they are invariably redirected to another menu or put on hold indefinitely. The experience is maddening and seems to serve no purpose other than to waste the individual's time and make them feel powerless. Another example of a Kafkaesque situation is being subjected to a set of arbitrary and ever-changing rules that govern one's behavior. This could be the case in a workplace where employees are expected to follow a complex set of procedures and protocols that are constantly being revised and updated. The rules may seem to have no logical basis and may even contradict each other. Employees who fail to follow the rules may be subject to disciplinary action, even if they were not aware of the rule or if it was impossible for them to follow it in the first place. In this situation, the individual feels trapped and oppressed by the system, with little control over his or her own destiny. The term Kafkaesque is not limited to describing specific situations, but can also be used to capture a certain mood or atmosphere. For example, a cityscape dominated by towering impersonal buildings and crowded with faceless anonymous people might be described as Kafkaesque. Similarly, a dream or nightmare filled with strange and disturbing images and events might be said to have a Kafkaesque quality. In addition to its use in literary criticism, the term Kafkaesque has entered the popular lexicon and is often used in everyday conversation. It is often used to describe situations that are frustrating, absurd, or disorienting. For example, someone might describe a visit to the Department of Motor Vehicles as a Kafkaesque experience, or say that dealing with a particularly obtuse bureaucrat felt like something out of a Kafka novel. In these contexts, the term is often used loosely and may not always capture the full complexity and depth of Kafka's work. In summary, the term Kafkaesque refers to situations, ideas, or experiences that share some of the characteristics of the works of Franz Kafka. These characteristics include a sense of disorientation, powerlessness, and absurdity, as mentioned above, as well as a sense of being trapped in a confusing and oppressive world. The term is often used to describe situations that are confusing, illogical, or nonsensical, as well as to capture a certain mood or atmosphere. Haruki Murakami is quoted to have said, Kafkaesque is a term that describes a situation that is nightmarish and absurd. David Lynch. Kafkaesque is a term that describes a situation that is confusing and illogical. Guillermo del Toro. Kafkaesque is when you enter a nightmarish situation that you have no control over. Chuck Palahniuk said, Kafkaesque situations are situations that are bizarre, surreal, and anxiety-producing. I think we're living in a Kafkaesque time, said Jeff van der Meer.